Okay, welcome to Hart. This is a different kind of story than I've loaded onto Wattpad before. Unlike the other stories that I've loaded up where I've already written them and edited and mostly edited and polished them, this is a story that we're going to write or create interactively week by week. This is a story that I haven't planned out in advance. It's purely creation each week as we go, seeing where the story goes. It should be a lot of fun. My family has a history of generating stories, figuring out, building stories on the fly. We've done that a lot in the past. My popular Set in Stone, book one of the Petrolus series, that whole story was developed with my kids, and it was a story that we just made up as we went. And it turned out so good that I decided to go actually write a version of that, which became Set in Stone. We've done that with a lot of other stories, and so we're starting a new story called Hart. And the plan is every week we'll sit down and we'll tell a chapter, and then we'll transcribe that chapter. We'll upload it to Wattpad along with the raw audio footage, so you can hear all the crazy stuff that goes on as we're telling a story in our home. We usually try to make it fun. There's a lot of laughter. Sometimes we're trying to figure things out as we go, so we'll have some discussion back and forth about what should be happening or what we should name people. Sometimes we have a false start. Sometimes we have a lot of fun. We try to make every chapter interesting. And so we'll post each chapter, the transcription and the audio, and then I'll look for feedback from everyone, from you, to tell me what you like, what you don't like, your suggestions for what should be coming next. And then we'll be building that into the story, and we'll see where it goes. I think this one has a lot of potential, and it could really produce some fun stuff. So that's the goal. To give you a little background, Hart is an alternate history fantasy. The target audience is probably YA for the most part. Some days, depending on how our humor is on a given week, it may be more mid-grade, but we're trying to keep it around a YA age group. The kind of the setting for the story is it's set in about the year 1900, but the world is a very different place than we know it or we knew it was in 1900. This dates back to an event. Back during the 100 Years' War, France invaded England, and they had a big battle with this Celtic defensive force at Stonehenge. And in the process, they accidentally unleashed these two creatures from legend, the ravening wolf and the white stag, who have been chasing each other around the world for eons. And once they've been released, they've been clashing, and there was a big clash at that point when they were released from their prison that Morin imprisoned them. And every time they clash, bits of their magic gets lost or gets separated from them. And those little bits of magic bind to the souls of any people nearby. And so those bits of magic are known as wisps, and then the people are wisp-bound, and they're granted different magical abilities depending on if their wisp came from the stag or the hart or from the wolf. And so ever since then, the two creatures have been running around the world, usually invisible to most people, clashing again and again, and so there's been more magic available in the world than ever before. And because of that, the world's very different. For example, the Americas, the invasion didn't really go well because a bunch of the Indians got some powerful wisps, and the Indian nations united into a pretty much a single Indian nation led by some powerful wisp-bound, and they basically fought off the English and French invaders in North America and kept them along along the East Coast basically. In South America, the Aztecs are still in the middle of a raging war with the Spaniards, and both sides control about half of South America. Italy has invaded much of Africa and conquered a lot of Africa. India, China, and Japan have created a defensive pact because the major world powers that are kind of shaping world history are the Celtic-Russian League, which makes up Great Britain, Northern Europe, Russia. It's a big and powerful consortium. And then there's the FOG, the Franco-Ottoman German Empire, and they are actively building up their military and threatening the world order. But they're not invading anywhere yet, which has pretty much everyone concerned. What they are doing is they have created these hunter packs, these small, basically paramilitary group with some special new technology based on some of these wisps. And they're scouring the world looking for wisps, looking for these wisp-bound, and kidnapping them and taking them somewhere unknown. And so the Celtic-Russian League, or the Kelrus, have created their own secret, paramilitary group, undercover type group, who are very resourceful to counter the hunter packs, to block them from getting these wisp-bound, and to try to figure out what their plans are so they can be blocked and defeated. So that's kind of the basic idea of the magic system and the world. The other thing that's important to know is it is possible to loan or imbue your wisp power onto another person or onto a machine, and it produces some very interesting results. So anyway, the book opens with the the Kelrus group trying to block the FOG from taking a powerful wisp-bound that they're going after. The Kelrus group are known as the Stag Party, and they are very resourceful. So anyway, that's Wolfheart in a nutshell. I hope you enjoy it. I'm looking forward to your feedback and your comments as we build a really fun story. Thanks.